You know how there's that one game that you just keep coming back to one way or another? For a lot of people, especially recently, that game has been Minecraft. And although I love Minecraft about as much as Mr. Attribute to Minecraft over here, it's not my favorite game. That title belongs to Spelunky. I first played the original freeware version of Spelunky around 2011. Then, 2 years later, the HD version came out on PC, and when I got it, I was hooked. I ended up putting hundreds of hours into it because you never had two runs that were quite the same. And even if you did beat the game, you still felt like there was more to accomplish, more secrets to explore, and challenges to conquer. Then, Spelunky 2 came out and completely flipped me on my head. Coming from Spelunky 1, this game works about as you'd expect. Bombs and ropes have about the same reach, all the controls are the same, you can still whip arrows, and you can still get an eggplant. However, there have been super small changes that will throw off even the most experienced Spelunky players. Those arrows I mentioned now seem to move slightly slower and are now piercing for a few hits. Shopkeepers appear to have been made easier by being slowed down slightly. The ghost now shows up after 3 minutes instead of 2.5, but is a little bit faster and can split into two. Hit detection when doing Goomba stomps is different, bugs no longer activate dart traps, you get the idea. As similar as Spelunky 2 is to the previous game, these changes along with the new content define it as something new and different. For my initial few hours, these changes made the game feel completely separate from Spelunky 1, more like a supplement than a replacement for it. But as I've reacquired my muscle memory for this newer title, the same feelings I got playing the very first version of the game started to come back to me. Just like the previous games, Spelunky 2 inspires you to grind through the challenges and learn the nuances of every level to push through and get to the end. The game's atmosphere also feels much more alive than the previous games. The music and art style does wonders for achieving this. There's also so much more to see and do with a ton of new shop types, including ones run by cavemen saying stuff like Unga Bunga. There are also bosses at the end of some of the areas now that are optional to kill, but if you do, you get some nice rewards. I'm going to stop here before I get carried away into spoiler territory, but just know this. I, as a Spelunky veteran, say that this game is well worth the price, and is everything a Spelunky fan could have ever hoped for in a sequel.